Hello, and welcome to another vlog. I do want to say that this is a separate day from when we ended the last vlog. We're just still orange.
Yeah, I wear the same shirt for several days at a time, sometimes 6 or 7, because I care about the environment. Do you?
I have 2 shirts exactly like this. It just worked out that way.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I just watched a terrible movie.
So, what are your reading plans for the week?
I had a few things I was considering, because I kind of thought, I wondered if for my TBR I should stack up some of the books I haven't read and have Cujo pick like that, but then I'd have to physically read, and I don't want to do that. So I'll tell you crazy kids what's on my Goodreads. I'm just excited about my game that I was playing. I have Silverborn by Patricia Briggs, My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, which I started, and I don't think I'm going to finish in the Love Hypothesis. I'm halfway through the Love Hypothesis. It's fine. It's not awesome. Have you heard the buzz about it?
Yeah, I've only heard one person talk about it, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I've always seen one person who has read it talk about it.
The thing is, like, everyone's going nuts over this book, which is cool. Like, Allie Hazelwood seems so sweet. And, like, it's cool that it's STEM and people are excited about it. But it's just, like, it's fun. It's just okay. It's not blowing me away. Like, Helen Huang, when I read those, I was just like, oh my god, this is majesty. And this one's fun. It's good. I bought it. But it's not amazing. So I'm a little underwhelmed with it.
Well, for me, I started After Age Eve Brown this morning. I'm about halfway through it now.
You can grab it and hold it up if you want.
Alright.
We try here.
Yeah, maximum effort. Maximum effort.
Yes.
So this is a romance. It's the third in a trilogy, and it's about a woman named, shockingly, Eve Brown. And her parents basically kick her out and say, go get a job. And so she's going to go do that at his bed and breakfast. Do you like how I poorly summarized that? Thank you.
That's what happens.
Thank you so much.
I love this. This is my favorite in the trilogy.
I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit right now. I like Eve a lot because, you know, one of the things I see people say a lot is that if a character is confident or has bad self-esteem, they're not allowed to ever, if they're confident, be not confident. And if they have bad self-esteem, they're never allowed to be confident. And that's just not how people work. There's layers to people. You can, like, I have a pretty okay self-esteem, but I also think I'm trash.
Yeah, in our Facebook Messenger, her name in it literally alludes to that.
Yeah, it does.
So
like, I don't know, like, whenever people are just like, you know, for someone who has such a low self-esteem, she's pretty mouthy right here, and it's just like,
yeah, that always bothers me with that. That was one thing someone commented on, not that I'm going to defend 50 Shades of Grey, but someone's just like, Anna's so timid, and yet in the first scene, she's, like, willing to talk to Christian with, like, a little bit of an attitude, and it's like, yes, people contain multitudes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I said it about Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown. I said it with both of them, that her character work with the women is just really, really good. Mm-hmm. There's no one feature that defines their entire personality, because, believe it or not, when you do that, it's bad characterization. It's bad.
I do want to know if Talia Hibbert is autistic, because it comes up more in this book, obviously. But I don't know. I haven't heard anyone talk about if the autistic rep is good or not. So
I haven't heard anyone talk about it at all, honestly.
That.
But yeah, so I'm going to finish that probably tomorrow. I have 3 free roams tomorrow, which is about 3 hours of rat time. So that's 6 hours of audiobook time.
My sister's coming over, so I'm probably not going to get a lot read.
Yeah, so I'll probably finish that tomorrow, and then I have to do Every Which Way But Dead by Kim Harrison, and I have Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. I still don't have her name in front of me, but I'm more confident that that's correct.
I also started reading the novelization of the Halloween remake. Because it's Happy Halloween, spooky time. You can tell by my shirt. It says Trick or Treat, Witches. which is a joke on curse word. But no, I'm probably not going to honestly finish this, but I have Audible Plus or whatever, so, and it was on there. I thought, oh, this will be funny. It's just horribly boring. I'm just curious how one does a slasher in book form, because I couldn't get through Clown in a Cornfield. Couldn't be bothered with any slasher I've ever started.
You should read that one.
I just finished watching There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins.
The movie, not the book.
I don't know how to explain it, because, like, I think the horror was pretty effective, but, like, oh my god, paper-thin characters, paper-thin plot, which, like, if you're down for that, this is the thing for you. But, like, the killer's motivation was stupid, and, like, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a Republican, but, like, it was, like, hyper-woke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of, like, scratching the surface of, like...
Performative.
Kind of, yeah. It's like scratching the surface of, like, privilege. And it's like, you can't just say the word privilege and then not, like, get into it. You can't just be like, this character is privileged and this one is not. And their views on privilege are incorrect and then not get into it. But that's what happens.
It's kind of like in The Defenders when they, for some reason, turned Iron Fist into, like, a passive racist.
Yeah.
Just so that they could be part of that conversation.
But it's weird. It's like, if you want to write a slasher book that also has, like, stuff about privilege in it, like, that's totally cool, but you have to actually do stuff with it. You can't be like, well, this character is privileged and they don't understand that, like, they have advantages, and then you just leave it at that. Mm-hmm. Also, it didn't make sense. I'll say spoilers here. I don't have a spoiler marker. If the water bottle is on this, then I'm saying spoilers. Okay, spoilers right now. Okay. The killer is killing people with secrets. In the movie, the killer kills 3 people and tries to kill the main character. The first character's secret is that they beat up a gay kid. That's very bad. Second character's secret is that she's super racist and she has a podcast talking about how white people are better than everyone else. That's very bad. The third person that is killed, their secret is they take fentanyl. There is a difference between actively hurting people and taking drugs. And then the main character, the thing she did is that she was being hazed really badly and she was drunk against her will. I think on drugs against her will, and she accidentally pushed someone into a fire. And, like, I guess on the outside you wouldn't necessarily know that was an accident, so, like, through the eyes of the killer, she pushed someone into a fire. 3 out of 4 of those things make sense for a killer to go after, but the fentanyl one, I don't understand. She had, like, a bunch of friends, only one of them died, and one of the kids, they thought, the only person they ever suspected as the killer, they kept calling him, like, a school shooter type, because he wore all black and smoked cigarettes. And we all know what he would actually look like if he was that type. Yeah, I just don't... First of all, I don't like when there's never, like, red herrings. It's like, okay, lazy, no time. The movie was like an hour and a half, like a tight hour and a half. You gotta do more with it. Some of it was fun. Some of it was, like, lame and trashy. I guess I'd recommend it if you're looking for, like, cheap, cheesy, over-the-top horror. I have not read the book. I don't really like Stephanie Perkins' writing because it's, like, not good. And this book I've seen several places, it gets touted as sex positive, which I guess I don't know what people's definition of sex positive is.
They only put that on YA. Like, if it's an adult book and you're having sex, it's not sex positive. It's just an adult book. And I find it so weird.
It's sex positive because the main character has sex with her boyfriend and another character has sex with her boyfriend. And it's like, is that what sex positive means? Or is that just, like, the average person? Because I'm pretty sure most people have sex with their partners. And they're 18. They're not even, like, 15, where it would be, like, a thing that they're having sex, I guess. They're 18. They're a couple months from graduation. So, an 18-year-old having sex with her partner is not, like, progressive?
She just finished this book right before we started, this movie right before we started recording.
5 minutes.
So,
Hot off the presses. It's just frustrating. It wasn't a good movie. Yeah. I'll drink some. I don't know how old this water is.
Alright, so that is our plans for the week. We don't have any other plans. On Friday, I have to take Merritt to the vet to get her staples removed. But that's it, I believe.
Yeah, on Friday I'm gnawing the staples off of my rats.
She's gonna be gone Saturday, so she probably won't get much read Saturday.
I don't.
And hopefully at some point this week I'll know if I can get some baby boys for a sailor.
Yeah, my problem is I'm not finding anything I want to read, especially. Like, I'm just, like, of the options I have, nothing seems interesting to me, so I'm having a hard... Like, I feel like I'm slogging through The Love Hypothesis, and it's not a bad book, but I am slogging through.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
You just need to read comic books.
I've just been reading comic books. This is going to turn into a comic book channel.
So, we'll
They're
see
better.
you next clip.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm continuing, Actor A.G. Brown. For some reason, I keep wanting to call this one Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I don't know why. She and Chloe are pretty different. But, still enjoying it. Its humor is quite in your face, which I like. And, again, I just enjoy that she's a complex character. You can tell that Talia Hibbert really put some thought into it. She didn't just slap her onto a page and be like, yep, this is her. She, like, thought things out. And I like it. Same with Jacob, although I do like the girls more. The boys are also... The men are also, better. Also women. My apologies. But yeah, it's fun to read so far. I have some of the rats out right now, but intros are going slow. So I'm just cautious. Alright, so I finished Actor Age, Eve Brown. I'm never gonna get that one right. I don't know what it is about that book that I just cannot remember the title. But I finished Actor Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert with hours to spare. But it's getting 4 stars. The only reason it's not gonna get 5 stars is because it was just a little slow in the middle for me and started to lose me a little bit, and then it pulled it back, so I started to enjoy it again. The thing with all of her books in particular is I just don't like the thing that breaks them up. It doesn't infuriate me. It just is kind of annoying, and it oftentimes feels very manufactured, I guess. So that's why it's getting 4 stars, not 5 stars. But I did enjoy it quite a bit. I don't know if she's coming out with anything new, but yeah, I'll continue reading these, or her books, I guess, if she is coming out with another, you know, romance like this. So
What the hell is going on here? Oh no. I'm absolutely terrified to go over there and find out what it is. Wicked. Wicked. Wicked, do you hate me? Wicked? My sweet, perfect baby. Do you hate me? I put cuddle rags in your space pod. You have soft, beautiful hammocks to sleep in. And yet you choose to take your litter, put it in the space pod, so you can sleep on that. And we're both pretending like I'm not gonna just dump all that litter back as soon as I get over there in an hour and a half. But for now, have your fun. Make a mess of your entire cage. What do I care? I'm just the one who cleans it. Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's Wicket in her little yellow basket, gathering up her cardboard bedding to bring and put in this space pod up here. And I don't know if you can remember 30 seconds ago, but she was getting aspen bedding from this and putting it into this just to hurt me. That's my theory. Just to hurt my feelings? Oh, and Wookie's come to join her, perhaps? To betray me? To betray her mother? Wookie, I just got you surgery to expand your little rat life perhaps dozens, if not hundreds of years. As I also did with your sister. Look at your shaped little belly. Don't be alarmed by the staples in her. They're fine, and she is fine. I see that Wicket has gone quiet. Now I'm terrified to look inside this space pod for how much cardboard she has put up there. Are you enjoying that? Are you having a good time? Dang. Leave some for the rest of us. Or don't, I guess.
Sorry, I started Every Which Way But Dead by Kim Harrison this morning. This is book 3 in the Hollows. And in this one, Rachel is dealing with her demon problem. You see her? You see her? She's the most precious little thing. Button Bright is almost 2.5. She's 2 years and 4 months old. Same as Pilot. And she's, I don't know, just a gut feeling I get. I don't know if she's going to be around much longer. My baby. But anyway, this is one of my favorites. This is the one that really got me into, like, the book 2 is the one that because the first time I read the series, I didn't like these titles. Dead Witch Walking that much. I thought it was pretty good, but not, like, must continue. And then book 2 is just like, oh no, this is actually good and I should keep reading it. And book 3 is when I fell in love with it. So I'm looking forward. I remember the scene that I fell in love with. It's great. Basically, Rachel is in her kitchen. She gets attacked and she makes a joke. And I was just like, oh, that's beautiful. And I just love the scene. But yeah, I'm only 2 or 3 parts in at this point. So I don't have too many thoughts. Not a lot happening so far. But yeah, I remember some things that happen in this, so I'll update you later.
What a hateful creature my child is. In part 3 of Wicket ruining my life. Look at this. Look at this. Look what they've done. Ah. What do you have to say for yourself, friend? Wicket? Why would you do this to me? I have to clean this up. I have to clean it. Another wildly dynamic shot from me here in my chair with my Halloween blanket and me talking quieter because my door is open and Sarah's asleep. So this week I'm still making my way through the Love Hypothesis. I'm halfway through. I wish I had more opinions on it. I kind of don't. I'm enjoying it. It's about, I don't know, a 3.5 for me. I've definitely read ones that I've loved like a lot more. I thought I liked this one a lot. It's pretty fun, but I don't know. There is some fanficky things that are like a little over the top and silly, but it doesn't bother me too much. But I'm also not like going nuts over them. But I've also started Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis, the sequel to Axiom's End. The basic plot of that, it's like it gets pitched as like an alternate history of, I think, 2008, where like aliens made first contact or something, and it's like light sci-fi / Transformers inspired weird stuff. I didn't love the first one, but I like in Lindsay Ellis's videos, so I'm giving the second one a chance because I could feel like the first book a lot of it was like setting up, I think, what she wanted the rest of the series to be. So I kind of thought that the second one would probably be better because like everything's set up and she gets to play with these characters. But I also know there's just a ton of characters in this and I am worried that's going to be overwhelming. I'm also really put off by like the references to kind of herself in it. Not directly necessarily, but like a lot of her friends are written into the book, or at least their names, and it's like jokes Lindsay makes on her channel. And the one sort of reference kind of to her life I like is that one of the readers is Abigail Thorne from Philosophy Tube, and I love her. So like every time her voice pops in on the audiobook, I'm just like a little bit excited. She also read a little tiny bit for the first one, which I was also excited when I heard her in that one. She's great. Absolutely delightful. Not a sci-fi person to begin with, so reading a 15-hour sci-fi audiobook isn't like smart of me, especially when I'm in what I feel like is a reading slump because I'm not loving anything I'm reading. I'm hoping I like this better because it's like, I think there's supposed to be a romance between the main character and like the alien, and that sounds weird and fun, and I am hoping that happens, but I don't know. I think Lindsay's like purposely teasing people with it, and she's gonna like make people wait a long time for that, which I don't like when people do that. I don't like when authors tease the audience. It seems like weird and mean, and I would prefer it if they just did the thing rather than purposely trying to draw it out to get people to keep buying them. But I think these books sell pretty well. She has a huge audience on YouTube, and her first book, they promoted, St. Martin's Press just promoted the hell out of it, and a ton of people bought it, and they're drooling over it, and it's like, I don't want to be mean or too negative, but it was pretty okay. Like, it was just a lot of ideas that have been used other places, and she's like, everyone tells me it's derivative, and I know that, so it makes it okay, and it doesn't. Just because you're self-aware of the mistake you're making doesn't mean, you know, you get away with it. Like in Riverdale, when in the first episode, Cheryl says that Kevin is like a stereotypical gay best friend. It's like, so you recognize the mistake you made in making him two-dimensional, and you're pointing it out instead of fixing it and like giving him depth. And it's like, okay, yeah, self-awareness never gets you out of that mistake. So I'm really hoping the second book is better and maybe weirder and just like some of her own ideas, because like she hasn't really written anything. I think she like wrote a couple books before Axiom's End that never became anything. So yeah, I don't know how good this book is going to be, because it seems like a baby writer thing typically in a lot of debuts is like, it's kind of based off of what the author kind of likes. Like you see a lot of debuts who their book gets compared to Avatar, and that's typically because a debut, if they're like 25 years old or younger or something, will have like grown up with Avatar. So like those were things they watched like in their formative years. So of course the first story they try and make is going to sort of resemble the things they love the most. That's just kind of how it is. And like, I guess no fault on the authors. That's just a reason you should probably write like a few books at least before you publish one, because you need to kind of get that stuff out of your system. A lot of baby authors also have the problem, which I hate, of in every sentence they say the characters' names. Like when two people are talking to each other, they end every sentence by saying the other person's name, which I hate. Using your friends' names or having your friends as characters is another baby author thing that she does a ton of, and could be because she doesn't want to come up with character names. I don't know. I'm just going in on Lindsay Ellis. I do like Lindsay, and I'm genuinely reading this book hoping I love it, because if it's just some fun, weird alien thing, that's great. And I bought the first book. It's literally right over there on my shelf, and I would love to buy this second book and actually be getting it because I like it, as opposed to getting it because I like the author. But yeah, I don't know. So if I don't like this book, I will probably try the third one when it eventually comes out, assuming it is. She said that she's got a big announcement in a month, which I figure is going to be related to the third book coming out, or she probably didn't sell the movie rights or anything, so it's like it could only be a handful of things. But if I don't like this book, or if I like it at least better than the first one, I'll try the third one. I might like read all of them at the library and not necessarily buy them, but I do kind of want to own them because she's like a YouTuber I like a lot. We'll see, but I'll try and be better at checking in and maybe get some rat footage. My rat is still going after her towel, which I find absolutely rude. But yeah, so please wish me all the luck in the world in actually getting something read, because it's not been working out great for me. Already bothered by something in Truth of the Divine. Not a huge deal, but I really also hate when they do this in books where there's a couple, like, you know, is going to be a couple, they're not together, but like, you know, they're going to be a thing, and they've had tension and all that. And that's how the main woman is, Cora, with the alien. And like, so basically everyone reading this is just waiting for Cora and Ampersand to get together, and like that we have since obviously the first book. But I really hate it when they have one of the characters sleep with someone else, like for like no reason at all. Cora had a line where she says that she had recently had sex with some random guy, and it's like, okay, man, but we know that her and this alien are gonna get together. How dare you? I hate that. I hate it. I really hate when one of the characters, after they meet the person they're gonna end up with, sleeps with someone else. It's like specifically after they meet them. Don't know what bothers me. I guess like it just feels stupid, I guess, when you know this is gonna be the couple, and especially this, which had zero purpose, like no purpose whatsoever. Her sleeping with some random guy, or trying to hook up with other random people to feel something, because I see that a lot too. It's like characters go have sex with people to feel something, as if that's the only way you can feel anything, which I guess maybe because like I'm on the ace spectrum, that just irritates me. But I just hate that. And I don't know, I don't think it's because it's supposed to be 2008 where people like felt differently and didn't know as much or whatever, where she's just like, every human wants to have sex with anything. It's like, not really. But, you know, whatever. Nitpicking, I guess. I'm just a little put off. Because she's, like, cuddling with the alien now. And it's like, oh my god, are you going to have her hook up with more random people? When she's, like, we're getting teased, essentially, with the actual couple. I hate it. I hate it so much. Just off-putting. Okay, so I'm a good little chunk into Truth of the Divine now, and ma'am, I'm a little bored. I wasn't at first, and I was pretty hopeful that it was going to be more entertaining than the first one, and I guess it still like technically is. But it's just a whole bunch of politics and a whole bunch of science fiction-y jargon, and I knew I wasn't going to like that, so I don't really know what I was expecting. Oh my god, you bit a hole in my shirt. You bit a hole in it when I wasn't looking. This is my Golden Girl shirt. They bit a hole in it. This is the second hole they've bit in this shirt. Anyway, yeah, so I'm bored with it. Not a ton of interesting stuff is happening. It's all politics, the whole thing. And this is a 15-16 hour audiobook. And I'm just like, oh my god, is it going to be 16 hours of politics? There's like a little tiny bit of, I don't know if I can call it romancy stuff. But like at the very beginning of the book now, Cora's just like, do I want to have sex with this alien? What a weird thought. But I mean, like, I think I would like it. So it's like, she's already like considering sleeping with him, but she slept with some other random dude. I just hate it. I hate it. I hate that so much. It's like, so you're interested in him, but you slept with someone else. Why do authors do that? Why do they have them do that? Please explain to me the reasoning behind that, because I just don't get it, and I dislike it. So she's already got the romantic tension now, like plainly stated, because Cora's like, I want to have sex with him. Whereas in the first book, it was just kind of insinuated, and it was like tense. If this camera's shaking, it's because of Wookiee specifically. So I just want to say that. Yeah, so like they've explicitly stated at the beginning of this very long book, and Lindsay teased that they aren't gonna hook up in this one. So like, is it gonna be an entire book of her being like, oh, I want this alien, but it won't work, even though, I mean, technically it could, and just like, I don't know if I'm into that. I like pining, but only when it's done well, and I don't know if a non-romance author would be great at writing pining. We'll see, I guess. I'm just not, just dipping below on the screen to deal with my rats. I'm not stoked about this book so far. I don't feel great about it. Don't think I'm gonna love it, even though I was really hoping I would. I was hoping I'd pull 4 stars on this. Because, like, the idea of a fun alien romance, like, sure, but it's going to be mostly politics, very little romance. So I'm just setting myself up for disappointment. Have not made any more progress on the love hypothesis, which I'm just kind of lukewarm on. Like, if this was just a normal romance that I hadn't, like, already bought already, I just don't know if I'd be too into it. I think just the hype got me. And the Star Wars fan fiction of it all. Ma'am? Trying to ruin my shot? Do you see this? Her bald tummy. Why don't you get on my shoulders, you shirt ruiner? Why don't you go ahead and do that? Anyway, the rats are causing chaos, and this clip's been long enough, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably keep reading a little bit more tonight with the hopes that it'll turn around. But I don't really know how it's going to, because the whole thing is about politics and aliens, and I don't really like sci-fi, and I don't like politics, so you know how that goes. I'm setting myself up for just a massive failure, and me feeling like I wasted 16 hours of my life. Please don't chew on my pajamas, and don't walk on this bar. You just had surgery. What are you doing? I gotta go. Bye.
All right, so it is Wednesday. I have my older girls, Ducky and Dorothy, out. They're still in intros. It's going quite slow, but I'm hoping I made some progress yesterday. They're in that cage right now. If you don't know how intros work, there's multiple methods. I use something called the carrier method. It involves putting them in a smaller cage. Currently, they're in this cage right here. But yeah, anyway, I am still in the middle of, that's my other group. Squeaking. I'm still in the middle of Every Which Way But Dead. Hey, Ricky. Hi. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I've always loved how Kim Harrison just incorporates like scent and feelings basically into environmental storytelling, so that you always have like an idea of what she's trying to say. Sorry, Rick is struggling. There's your butt. So like it makes every character have a feel to them that I really appreciate. And so I'm about halfway through, and just wanted to pop in and say that. Although there's still some stuff, like she mentions that all weres have tattoos like werewolves, and no one knows why or something, and she explains why pretty soon. It's like I don't know, it's strange. But anyway, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Also, if you've noticed this right here, that is a mosquito bite. Now, normally I wouldn't bother mentioning it, just because, like, what you wonder, it doesn't even matter. But, mosquito bites on me tend to, sometimes swell. The biggest it's ever gone was, like, the size of a baseball, maybe a little bit bigger. And this is on my face. So, if you've noticed in the comment clips, this getting bigger, it's already, like, doubled in size, if I'm being honest, from when I noticed it last night. If you notice it getting bigger, that's what it is. I'm really hoping that if it swells this way, which some mosquito bites I've had swell sideways as opposed to just round. I'm hoping it swells sideways and not up. So that's what's going on there. We've had a lot of mosquitoes here in Arizona this year. I don't know why. And in Arizona, it doesn't really get cool until November, so the cold weather's not going to kill them off for at least another 2, maybe 3 weeks. So, wish me luck. I've been eaten alive this year. See you next clip. All right. So, y'all know I didn't like the turn. I think I made that abundantly clear. But in the turn, it turns out, in the turn, she wrote that the vampires had Trent's dad make brimstone. At least that it was hinted it was brimstone. She didn't say it outright. But in this book, Siri says the last time she gave someone brimstone it wasn't illegal. And the thing is, I'm right now. And the thing is, hasn't been on Earth for hundreds of years. And Trent's dad made it in like the 70s. Don't do that, Goof. Don't do that. No. But Embrace lost the ability to like groom gently, so she's trying to groom me, but she's biting me. She's very old. But yeah. So I just wanted to point out that bit of inconsistency. Also, I wanted to mention it didn't start in this book, I think it started in the last book, but Kim Harrison is not great with pronoun issues in these books. Not issues necessarily, it's not nuanced, but it can be offensive. I'll say that. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically she's just not great with pronouns. So just keep that in mind if you decide to read these.
Let's talk about my Twilight conspiracy theories.
Oh, me or you?
Oh, well, I don't know. Us, at you, with your opinions.
Did you explain your Twilight conspiracy theories?
No.
Well, you should probably do that.
I'm going to hand you the phone, and I'm going to sit over here, and I'm going to say the things. Okay.
Go for it.
Right, so this is my conspiracy theory, not regarding the story or anything, but last night I was on TikTok and some girl started talking about the new trilogy Stephanie Meyer's supposed to do. She announced it like over a year ago and then nothing ever came of it, which isn't weird, I guess, because like she could be writing it and it could just be taking her a long time because her books are huge. But for some reason, I went to Amazon to look up the Twilight books. I was curious on some of the prices. I saw that like the graphic novels shot up in price and they're worth a ton of money. My mom has them. And also the other thing that shot up in price is the hardcover illustrated guide because it's out of print. And me noticing that, I also noticed that they are making a paperback of the... They're making a paperback of the Twilight Illustrated Guide coming out in February. And that struck me as odd. Because you'd think if it was selling well enough, then they would probably just keep it in paperback or hardcover, but they let hardcover go to print, and then they're coming out with it again, but in paperback. And they haven't announced it. So my conspiracy theory is around February when the book is coming out, they might be announcing something with the new Twilight books because like, why... At this point, 9 years later, would they randomly come out with a paperback of a book that clearly wasn't selling well enough for them to keep it being made in hardcover? Right?
I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you.
But, like, does that not sound suspicious? That, like, they would randomly make a paperback of a book that probably never sold, like, amazing compared to that? Because I checked Stephanie's ranks on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and break it down as like clearly as possible. They're real good. She's ranking, I think in the paperback of, I think I looked at Twilight, she's ranking at like 600 for a book that came out 16 years ago. So she's still selling tons of copies of everything every day. I checked everything but the host. So I'm just wondering why they would let the hardcover go out of print and then they're randomly making a paperback. I feel like an announcement is on the horizon. Maybe
because of the paper shortage, it's easier to do hardcovers, paperbacks, because it requires less for the cover.
I guess, but like, how do you justify the cost of doing a whole new print of
if you sold everything else out.
I guess it just seemed weird to me, and she did announce last year that she wanted to do more books with Jacob Renesmee, so that's my...
there's a chance that she'll announce something soon, but...
I'm torn on being excited because of nostalgia and not because I've got so many problems with Stephanie Meyer and what she did to the Quill-Utes, and also on not even like a personal moral level, just like the Midnight Sun book was horribly boring. I waited a decade for that, and it was just horrendously boring.
It really, really was.
And I hated the narrator. The narrator was the little brother in hell from Supernatural. It was super boring, and like I remember being a teenager and reading the parts that she released online, and I was just like, this is amazing, every word is amazing, and then reading it again as an adult, I'm just bored. But I know myself well enough to know that if she announced the new books, I'd be excited, except what I know about them, which is not entirely confirmed, is that it's only 6 years later, because that's when Renesmee is physically 18. And guess what? Physically 18 isn't the same thing as being 18. And she's going through high school for the first time in Canada with her family, which is what some random girl on TikTok said, so that part's probably not true. But I don't want it to be 6 years later, because she could, if she made it just like 2021 or 2022. That would make it, because Breaking Dawn was 2006, so 15, 16 years later, which is still not 18, but it sure isn't 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, she set it up like, oh, she'll be physically full grown and technically mentally she will be too. And it's like, okay, but she's still, she's still not. It's
the whole
so
thing
weird.
with Jacob is gross, honestly.
There's no way, I think, for her to make it so I could be, like, super down for it. And I even felt that way at the time. I mean, I was, I think, 15 when I read those, so I was old enough to be like, eh. But it's like, did she only do 6 years because she didn't want, like, too much time to pass? Because if she did skip 18 years, then it's like, wow, so you missed out on 20 years of development with these people. And realistically, in the book, I guess they would be together. I don't know, because he's her... What is it? They're just imprint is their word for that?
But the vampires are frozen as however they were when they died, forever. Which
Yeah.
I guess means Jasper's racist.
I do wonder that sometimes. But
Jinx.
it's just... Jinx is helping. I just wonder... She got her butt right in your soda.
Hey.
Jinx!
Cat.
Jinx! But do you not think that something is on the horizon with the paperback release of this book? It seems like such a weird one to randomly be like, we're gonna come out with like a paperback of this.
I don't know, like, I don't really think there's anything coming up, because I think what's most likely to happen is they'll do what they did with Midnight Sun, which is announce it like a couple months before.
Would they announce a couple months?
That's pretty common with like popular authors, I mean.
God, I feel like sometimes it's like a whole year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll wrap this up quick. They did release technically new covers in paperback, which you know what those look like, right? You've seen them?
I have, but I don't remember them, which tells me they weren't good.
It's the same covers as the normal ones, except they blew up the font
That
to
I
like
remember.
72.
I remember, yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? But it's so strange because it's like one of the series that's never gotten new covers at all. Even Hunger Games got new covers, and they were pretty gorgeous. They were like white, holographic kind of looking. So why not Twilight? This book that's still selling.
Twilight has white covers.
Yeah, that's the closest we've ever gotten to any kind of new covers. You have those over there, but I just think it's weird that they never did like full blown new covers for that book, considering it's like 20 almost, not 20, I guess 16 years old. And like, I mean, I know myself, I'd probably get them in a new set of like paperbacks if they were nice, especially because I like floppy paperbacks to read. I don't read Twilight really, but if I were, I wouldn't want to read my hardcovers because whatever the distributor is for Little Brown is terrible. Their hardcovers are awful and they fall to pieces.
Yeah.
I guess that's the end of my conspiracy. I think that there's an announcement on the horizon, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just making something out of nothing.
But if you're not, you gotta be smug.
I love being smug.
Who's giving me kisses? Daisy? Daisy's giving me kisses. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Alright, so I finished Every Which Way But Dead by Kim Harrison, the third in the Hollow series. Did I mention what this one's about? Rachel's basically dealing with a witch who is selling, there's a drug called brimstone, and it's like bad. Like his batches are bad, basically. She's dealing with that. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. A lot happens in these books, and I am down for it. I especially enjoyed the end, because like she beats him not by just being super strong, but by being clever, and I like that. So I got 4 stars. Next I'll probably start Slave to Sensation. Not today, but probably tomorrow. Hi. I'm going to be finishing an episode of a podcast. It's the Kill James Bond podcast. I love it. So I'm going to be doing that. One, get, good girl. That's all of them. That's all of them. Anyway. I'm starting Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. I have literally zero clue what it's about. I listened to about 20 seconds before remembering I need to do this clip and popping in. So based on the first 20 seconds, it sounds like Vulcans. Do you like our framing?
It's not. I'm I hate how close to the edge we are. It's only because this part of my bed is broken and I can't sit on it.
So, as usual at the end of these vlogs, I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the car for 5 hours today. Don't ask why.
Yeah.
I'll show you next vlog, probably.
Probably. We have to wrap it up.
So this week I only read, did I finish The Hurt Principle this week? I can't even remember. And I read Every Which Way But Dead. And I started Slave to Sensation and then immediately lost all motivation to read, so I've been listening to podcasts.
I'm desperately trying to get through Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis, and it's horrendously boring, like I kind of assumed it would be. And she keeps sharing these reviews of it where everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is God's gift to writing. Like you're an angel of writing. Everything you did is completely unique and not at all from something else that you definitely watched." That sounds mean. It was mean. To be fair, yeah, mean, but it's not very good writing. Like, it's weird because it's like the prose aren't the problem. Like, the prose are fine. They're generic, but they're fine. But, like, all the plot points and stuff are just things I've seen other places. Everything in that book is something I've seen somewhere else, which obviously is something you can run into a lot when you're reading, but it just feels like the first couple books she wrote ever. Like, it feels like the debut it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, next week, I'll finish Slave to Sensation. And then, I guess I'll have to do a lot of in-between updates because then I'm reading Bag of Bones, which I can't update you guys on because that's for a completely separate video.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and finish Truth of the Divine next week. I have to read Silverborn because I only have another week of it on the library.
Excuse me. I have to fix their water bottle before they have a conniption.
I'm going to finish Love Hypothesis, probably. It's taking me so long to get through that book.
I don't know if I have anything else at the library other than Slave to Sensation and Bag of Bones. So I might be listening to a lot of podcasts this week.
Just do updates on this with podcasts. Guys, oh my god. Oh, they're having fisticuffs. There's a lot of rats in my room right now.
Mine too.
Yeah, there's 5 rats in my room. 3 of which are not mine.
I could explain what happened, but honestly, I don't want to.
Oh my god, Ducky.
You did that on purpose,
Ducky.
you little hoe. Yes, I called my rat a hoe. It's fine.
She knows what she did. She did it on purpose. Oh man, we gotta fix the water bottle again. It's been a chaotic week, and it's gonna be a chaotic week next week, and then also the week after that.
This is just my life now.
Yeah. I hope that's what you wanted.
No, it wasn't by about 5. But I love you.
Yeah, and we'll figure out if I love Wicket after Thursday. If I find out she's gonna cost me $50 or $400.
So, Dax.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I left the door open again because I'm a fool.
Oh, she hit me in my own room. She hit me.
And Cappie got her foot clawed because she's also a fool.
Thank you. Pick up that cat and shake her. Do it. Oh, did she go after my guitar?
She might.
She went after my guitar. Dax. I'm going to drop an anvil on you. Get over here. Come here. Come here.
All right.
No, I'm going to hold her up. Come here. Come here. I'm going to hold her up. I'm going to do a shame dangle. All right, Buttercup. Shame dangle. Oh, my God. Aha. You want belly rubs? Do you want some belly rubs? Do you like those belly rubs?
She is fine. She's just mad. All right.
She does sometimes like belly rubs, right? Up until she doesn't.
I hope you enjoyed this vlog.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
We'll see you in the next one. Honestly, I can't either. I have no idea what I've said, and I have to go edit it.
It's been weeks of I don't know what's going on. And it's not going to end anytime. And cut. Look at her legs. Look how she's...
We'll see you in the next one.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
Oh my god.